Hi guys, welcome back to Girl Therapy. I'm your host Nicole, and we are here with Livi.
Hey.
And
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing? The girls are just vibing right now. I
Yeah.
don't really know where we're gonna go with this.
We have nothing planned. We just kind of want to talk to each other, I guess.
Yes, we sit in silence.
As if we don't do that enough. If anything, it would be shocking if we just sat in silence.
No, yeah. Can we talk about what we're doing tonight?
Okay. Fuck yeah. Nicole is meeting this guy I've been speaking to.
Yeah, Livy's turned a leaf and she's talking to a nice guy.
I want to cry.
We don't have to talk.
No,
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Eyes out. No, it's weird. I don't really know what I'm thinking or feeling about anything in the situation. I'm uncomfortable.
Do you want to?
I'm sorry.
It's so uncomfortable liking somebody, truly. But I will say, remember when we sat on these couches and we were like, the man that you really like, you are not going to call your hoe.
Yeah.
You have not called this man your hoe.
I've actually been calling him, I don't know if you realize name. I've been calling him his name.
And I've been forgetting it.
Every time you're like, wait, what's his name? What's his name? It's the only time I've ever said a man's name.
I forget it right. No, I remembered it. I just remembered it. Yeah, it's really great. It's a beautiful chapter.
It's a new, I'm trying not to get too attached to the outcome, I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just and I'm still deciding as to where I am with everything.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird for me. It's when you've never dealt with somebody healthy or nice or respectful, it's very strange. I'm dealing with respect for the first time and it's no, yeah, I tell him all the time. I'm
the fact that normalcy is weird, a guy who's not being a dick is oh my God, how do I navigate this one?
Him communicating his emotions, him opening doors for me. I worry about, it's honestly I've never been so in my feminine energy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting for me. But yeah, he's just a supportive, nice person.
Yeah.
And it's so weird for me. I can't even comprehend it sometimes. And he just says really sweet and nice things. And I'm always is this love bombing? And then you're no, you're trying to get love bombed.
Yeah.
Because I got in a fight with him. Not a fight, but I said to him, I was are you obsessed with me? And he's no. Okay, then die. Then die.
Livy is the love bomber.
No, I guess I might just want to be love bombed. No, then fucking die if you're not obsessed with me.
I thought you were
sorry. No. And then
the thing is, I want a man to be obsessed with me, but don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Right now.
No, of course.
Act like it.
Because then when he was
but if you tell me you're obsessed with me, I'm ew.
No, because then when he was okay, fine, then I'm obsessed with you. I was okay, that was too much.
You know what? Your love language has to be words of affirmation.
It's actually not. I don't believe a word.
No, it has to be.
No, I don't believe a word anybody says.
Then why do you keep wanting people to say these words to you?
No, just I know you're obsessed with me, so why wouldn't you just admit it? You know what I mean? That's crazy to me.
I don't. You are a lot to handle.
No, I'm a lot to fucking
handle.
Okay, so I did kind of lie to this man and I got caught in a lie.
This is the funniest
This is so fucked up on my end. Okay, you guys, this is actually so fucking embarrassing because, I posted a TikTok that I was get ready with me for a date kind of thing, his and I's first date or whatever. And then I posted on my Instagram story that TikTok girlies know where I'm going. But I blocked him from my Instagram story because I was just I don't want him to deal or see this or anything like that. So I was this is such a good idea. I'll just block him from my story. Turns out, you guys, this is embarrassing.
The bitch blocked him too late.
I blocked him too late, apparently, and he went after our date. Mind you, I also didn't know he didn't have a TikTok. I found that out during the date. And then he was I went and looked at your page after the date because I was feeling it. And I looked and there were no highlights. You had no highlights. You had no stories. So I know you blocked me. And to make it 30 times fucking worse, he was I forgive you. And I was for what? And he was blocking me from your Instagram story. I said, I didn't do that. I did not block you.
Denied, so you
I literally did not block you. He goes, yeah, you did. I go, no, I didn't. And then I said, okay, I'm sorry, I did.
That's so embarrassing.
No, it's so embarrassing.
It's really embarrassing.
And
if I were him, I would have never talked to you again.
For sure. I wouldn't have talked to me either.
No, you're so amazing.
No, I'm incredible. How could you not want to talk to me? What the fuck? I recognized where I went wrong.
Yeah.
And he said, I guess it's a little fucked up, you guys.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know about the highlights thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that they disappeared.
No, I didn't know that they disappeared.
So, and I love that he was checking your profile.
He was checking my page. And then
do you think he was going to go to jerk off to when he was...
Ew, Nicole,
why was he checking your profile? He went
so far. That was so far even.
Because checking your profile.
Do you think he was going to jerk off to your page? Like, literally, my face was like, what the fuck was that? Because like, it was a first date. Like, nothing sexual happened. Like,
Then why was he like checking
I think
your
like
page?
because he was like in awe of me and was
But,
like, I had a good time with her. Like, let me just like go check her thing and like just like, oh, let me go look at her photos, kind of thing. Like, I just had a vibe with this girl. I think he's jerking off. It's crazy, Nicole. And
I love that he called you out though.
no man has ever called me out in my life. That's like something, yeah.
Or if they have, you get defensive and you're like, well, fuck you. And then you like one up them with something else because they're usually really toxic.
And I didn't even want to say fuck you to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so great.
Yeah, it's growth. It's kind of weird for me. It still feels like even too soon to be discussing it because it is too soon to be discussing it online, but here we are.
The fact that we were even hesitant to bring it up, I brought it up.
Yeah, you did.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about it, but we don't have to go too much into it. But
in
just
reality,
the fact that
like this is what I do. We're about to film a TikTok about it later.
That's why I'm like,
you know, and it's just hard for me. I don't know why it's hard for me bringing things online. I think just in general, dating is really difficult.
Well, dating's just so weird now because we always post, like, I want to do a get ready with me to go on a date. Like, first of all, those TikToks perform well. And it's like, I share my life with you guys. And to leave out a major part of my life.
Like, it kind of feels like I'm hiding a secret from you guys right now because, like, no one really knows.
Yeah.
So, it's not even, like, that deep of a secret. And I guess it's just, like, the challenge of, like, I'm going to make this public. If this falls and goes bad, which has happened to me. We saw that happen to me. It's on me and everything like that. It's like, yeah. But I'd rather that so we can experience it together than, like, me hiding shit. And it's just, like, yeah. So, I'm speaking to a man. Nicole's gonna meet the man.
I'm so excited. I've never met any of her men
because they're weird looking creatures. I keep them from you,
and I don't even know what this man looks like because she keeps not showing me photos
because he doesn't have any good photos. Like that's actually the one thing I really like.
Every
about
girl
him.
says that he doesn't have any photos.
No, but he like doesn't post on social media, which I think is the biggest green flag in the world.
I do think you need that.
Yeah, because I can't have someone looking at my TikTok being like, did you really just say that or anything? Like even just watching like the Isaac episode being like, did that really just happen? And it's like, yeah, but this is like my job. And he understands that it's my job.
What kind of question should I ask him?
Oh my God, I don't know. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking?
Like,
he's taking us to a wine bar.
I will tell you exactly how I feel about this man, though.
No, and that's what scares me, to be honest. Like, I'm excited because I also tell like Nicole exactly how I feel about every man she's ever.
She really does.
I literally let her know. Yeah. So that's interesting. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see how you think and feel about him.
Yeah,
feel about him is crazy.
I just want to see how you guys interact and how he handles you because
like I have a full mental breakdown to see what he does. No, I'm talking full men TV.
Start crying.
I'm talking lugless crying on the phone with FedEx men TV.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a time. Yeah, see, he's going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to.
That's the thing is, that's what I'm like. I'm amazing. I'm great. I'm beautiful. I'm gorgeous. You're going to have the best time with me. But you're also going to be like, I will have mental breakdowns. That's just who I am as a woman. And I'm fine with that. I'm an anxious little bitch. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that you're letting me meet him, I feel like says a lot though, because.
No, he said the same thing. He was like, you must really like me. And I was like, no, I just don't trust myself.
Ew, why'd he say that out loud?
No, he said it over text.
That would piss me off.
No, and that, you know what? Can we deep dive into that a little bit more? Nicole and I are having issues with hyper-independence. Nicole doesn't want to talk about her dating life, but I do. Yeah. So is there nothing that we can say about that? Nicole's
I'm in cahoots.
Bitch, cahoots is crazy. Cahoots is crazy.
I'm in cahoots. No, I did meet a guy who's me and Livi are kind of the same thing where it's like we're talking to healthy people.
And like, yeah.
And it's a little bit strange and for me, it's not strange to be treated well. I feel like I've had pretty good guys who like treat me decently well. Like I've never been really toxic with somebody, but now it's a little bit scary because it's like my whole life, I feel like I've never had somebody who I felt, oh, this person like would date, like seriously wants to date me and like maybe what we'll get there pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like I'm mentally there and I'm scared of hurting somebody.
No, but I also think like it's crazy because I do go back to this, like you and I both think like we're going to be in relationships this year. Like that's the craziest thing. Yeah, but I'm thinking
it's like we want it and then it starts to happen.
And then I'm like, oh, am I ready for this? Yeah. Because I'm thinking that to myself. I'm like, I'm so good alone. You know,
I'm too good alone.
I'm
like the best alone.
We have really bad like hyper independence, the both of us, where even like last night you were like, I can do it for myself. And it was like, okay, like nobody was like.
He like bought me.
I'm not.
Oh, I can't say that. I won't. That outs it too much.
But he bought you something.
He like did something, and it was a small thing. It was like, I want this. He goes, great, just order off Amazon. And I was like,
okay, so now he owns me. I said, no, he doesn't.
Now he owns me.
He said he doesn't fucking own you, bitch. You're good. But I get it because I'm so quick to be like, You know how much I pay for this rent? You know, you see this car? I did it all myself. Thank you. I don't need you for anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Going
Do you
back.
think it's because we've been alone too long, like
Yeah.
single too long, or do you think it's just because actually I think this is why women who are like in their mid-30s who are single and like have these careers and people are like, why is this like catch single? And it's like because she's just built so much of a life for herself that she just has such high standards, and now it's like I really don't need somebody.
Yeah. And we fall back onto that a little too much.
Yes,
we
exactly.
fall back on like, oh, I don't need anybody a little too much.
Like,
I'm a little too like, I don't need you.
I abandon my emotional needs
Mhm.
because those just don't seem as important to me.
Right, because
I love my life and I love my friends.
And I've also like haven't had to deal with that for so long.
Yeah. And honestly, like I get when men are like, I just can't like feel responsible for somebody else's emotions.
I get that.
And that's kind of how I feel now. It's like,
but I genuinely do think that you're just like talking yourself into that because you're scared, to be honest, like, because I'm doing the same thing. That's the only reason I know that is that like I can look at you from an outside perspective and be like, okay, like I know you're thinking too deeply into this because you actually genuinely like this person and something serious could come from this. And I think it fucking terrifies you. And I think I'm the same way where I'm like, is this person even like what I want as somebody? And it's just like, I'm overthinking it almost a little too much because it's like, we've only known being alone. Like I've only known being so independent, like providing for myself, which like I always will do. And like providing my own emotional stability, happiness, anything like that. Like I go to bed it's like at rest every night. Like I'm not worried about another motherfucker. You know what I mean?
yes.
So it's hard to be like, oh, like do I like want to bring that person into my life? And like when they're coming into your life, it almost feels like you have no control.
You know what also is another thing? It's like when I start to get to a point where I think, oh, I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I'm kind of like, oh, I should have like fucked that person.
We know. I'm like, I should have been single a little.
Yes,
I've been single 6 years.
I should have went harder on the singleness. Like now I'm
No.
like, I need to fuck this person. I need to fuck this person because what if I end up marrying this person?
You're going to give me a panty. You're going to give me a panty right now, bitch.
We're going to become the biggest whores right now. Like,
but the thing is, it's like, I don't even, I've been thinking that too. It's like, did I even live out my single years like the way I wanted to? And it's just like, whoa, it's okay. Because it's so funny because single, you can be like, oh, like, no, I want to be in a relationship. Like, I want to like be in love and all these things. But when it comes to your face, you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I should have fucked that dude.
Why are we going so fast?
Like, why did I not fuck my FedEx delivery guy when I had the chance?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
it does feel, everything feels so quick. Everything feels so like, oh my God, like, I've always thought this. I'm like, it's so crazy that you can meet someone and then when you don't hear from them, like it can honestly like affect your day. Like it's crazy how that person can become such a big part of your life so fucking quickly.
Yeah.
That terrifies me.
Do you think if this nice guy like didn't text you ever again, you'd like be
I'd be like,
upset? You'd be like,
I think we're too deep.
Like, you'd miss him?
I think we're too deep.
Too deep. It's been 2 weeks.
No, but we're too, like, you know when you talk to someone so much and it's like, if that was like the switch, that'd be like the switch up of the lifetime.
Yeah,
I'd
that'd
be
be weird.
That'd be really fucking weird. But like, I'd be fine. I'm always going to be fine.
We're always gonna be fine. We were saying this on the couch yesterday. I was like, I'll be fine.
I'll be fine. And it's
like, talking to me tomorrow. I'll
be fine. I'll be fine. It's like, I would be more, but also it's like weird to me because I'm the most emotionally mature I've ever been, which is like, oh my God, it's fucking hard. Like, honestly, being emotionally mature is really fucking difficult.
Do you think I've helped you grow with that?
Yeah, do you think I've helped you grow with that?
No.
Would you fuck yourself? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I think I'm a little bit more like level-headed than you.
No,
like I think you've called me out on things for sure, but like I've always handled things I think with grace.
I will say that I'm still not doing that. I fuck that. If I don't want to handle it with grace, I'm not handling it with grace.
You've helped me come into like myself and my self-worth and like knowing who I am, have like a more clear vision for what I want out of my life. Yeah, and, like been like more girl bossy, which has then helped me reach the emotional maturity of I know my worth. I'm not going to put up with shit anymore. Right. And I think I was putting up with so much stuff with the wrong people because I was just unhappy with where I was at in my life. I wasn't secure. Agree. So I was getting validation, the quick validation from guys, from like little things. Like, is he going to text me today? Is he going to like respond to this? Can I get him with this story? That's what was feeding my ego at that time because I wasn't feeling good about other areas of my life. Now that I feel so good about so many aspects of my life, I'm not going out and seeking that. And I don't need that person to validate me.
But now, like without you even knowing it, you're attracting like the right person for
too many people. I'm like, stay the fuck
like, guys, relax. No, I 100% think you've helped me grow emotionally, just more emotionally mature within dating. Like you've definitely, Nicole, I always say this is like my only friend that will like call me on my shit. Yeah. I think the rest are kind of scared of me, which I don't know why, but like I mean,
Because you bite back.
I do. Oh, trust me, I bite back. And I'm just I just have an intimidating nature to me. I'm very because I do know what I want out of life. I know what I want out of every single part of my life. I know my 5-year plan. I know all these things, and I will bite the fuck back. Like, you're not going to come at me and think that I'm not going to say something, but like, Nicole will call me the fuck out, and it's and in the nicest way.
Yeah.
But it's helped me grow so much. And I just think it's like the most beautiful gift you could have ever given me. Oh, look at us. We just love each other too much.
We do love each other too much.
Yeah.
No, but I am so proud of you because we've come a long way.
Such a long way.
We've come a long way.
That's so crazy. Do you realize, like, I always say to Nicole, I'm like, could you imagine, like, this last year, this time, we were, like, coming to, like, we didn't even know each other yet.
I know.
If the girlies want to know how to make friends, just get a villa in Tulum and invite the girl that you've been stalking on Instagram.
It could have.
That's what Nicole.
Stalking on Instagram
Bitch, you were in love with me.
Listen, I know what I want when I want it.
And
I know what I want when I see it.
And you got it. You said hooks.
I'm really good at reading energy. So are you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I knew. It's just like how a guy, I think, knows if they like a girl within 5 minutes. I know if I like a person.
Right.
Or like as soon as I met you, I was like, oh, we're going to be like besties.
We're going to be besties.
Yeah.
And I was also like, even after the Tulum trip, I was like, are we going to talk? And we planned LA in Tulum. Like, that's so crazy. Like,
yeah.
we just.
Yeah. And now we're going to Austin. And
we've traveled the world together. That's so, I guess I didn't realize it while we were doing it, but like I look back on those moments, I'm like, we did Paris. We did such insane things together. Like we talked about earlier this year, like settling down and nesting in our houses. And I think we've genuinely nested.
Yeah.
And so with a part of nesting is like looking back and it's like, I had a lot of energy to like travel. You did a month in fucking Italy, bitch. Like,
I know, that was crazy.
I met you in Paris for a week. Like, we lived such a literal blessed life to do that. That's so crazy.
How much has like LA changed your happiness?
Oh, I think I'm like the happiest I've ever been. Can you see
and
it?
that's why
you
are attracting healthy people, and that's why we are. Like, where you live makes such an impact, and you just seem so much happier.
Yeah.
And it just aligns more with like your lifestyle and who you want to be. Like, New York was so chaotic.
And it was so much towards the end. That was brutal, Nicole. Like, the end, I think that last year in general was really hard for me, hence the reason I traveled every month. Anyways,
yeah.
That was so difficult. And it was even more difficult to come to terms with the fact that I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I felt so stuck in that city. You know, I felt like I had to live in New York for so long.
Yeah.
I remember when I told everyone I was leaving, they were like, why? What the fuck? Like, you're leaving all these things? And then I got a little rude. I was like, because I can't. You know,
people said that when I moved to LA too.
100%.
They were like, why are you moving to LA?
Right.
LA sucks, blah, blah. And people probably were telling you LA sucks.
Oh, everyone was like, why the fuck? Because where I picked to live is not in the heart of anything. They're like, why the fuck would you pick to live out there? You're in
Venice. What do you mean? That's like a major place.
Let them know where I am. I'm on the west side.
Yeah.
I'm by the beach. But everyone was like,
no, you're in Venice. You literally tag it. Like,
no, but like nobody knows I'm in Venice.
What do you
I'm
mean?
a private person, Nicole. I live alone.
Don't tell them that.
Lying.
Is like living alone weird for you?
No, I lived.
Were you scared?
No, I lived alone before I lived with a roommate. If anything,
Okay.
I didn't like the roommate.
But I think a lot of people go from. Like, when I lived with Jordan here for a little bit, I was like, oh, it's nice to have somebody around. Like, it is. And I feel like it actually helped in the sense of me not getting – this is going to sound like kind of crazy. But I think, like, a lot of times guys don't fixate on girls too much or dating because they always surround themselves with like, the bros. And, like, they, like, have roommates a lot of the time. Guys who are younger in, like, their mid-20s, like, have roommates. Until they're in their 30s, I feel like they don't live alone until they're dating
I would
somebody.
Even push it to, like, until they're in a serious relationship, they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
They're, like living with people.
They are more like pack animals. And girls, like, I've always wanted to live alone. I lived alone when I lived in Miami the entire time.
Yeah.
And my first roommate was Jordan, just moving back here to LA. And it honestly did help in the sense where it kept me busy. And it's like, if I never really had like a moment to like allow myself to be too sad or like hyper fixate on things because I'd be with her. So I think living alone, you actually have to mature emotionally a lot because you're sitting alone with your feelings a lot of the times and you're working through things alone. And like we have a lot of time to think. And I think guys don't give themselves time.
No, they don't give themselves. They're like hanging out with the roommates. And I'm just like, it's I lived alone. Actually, that's actually such a good point though, Nicole, because like when I lived alone in Chicago, I was healing a lot of things, and I was like, maybe it was because I lived alone that I like kind of isolated myself so fucking much. Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword because it's good and it's bad. Sometimes I isolate to the point where it's like I don't want to talk to anybody. I could go like a week without talking to anybody.
Even me.
Obviously, no, but I don't hang out with you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so easy to just like send a voice memo or a text.
Right.
But in terms of like, sometimes I just won't go out and like see my friends because I just want to stay in and like isolate.
I've actually like LA surprised me in the sense that I thought I'd be in a lot more. Like
You've been going out.
I've been going out and it's been tiring.
Well, she moved here with, not
no
really
friends.
no friends.
I
mean,
had what Steph
loose, and then you rekindled with other your friends, but like, yeah, you moved out here with nobody.
Yeah.
People were worried that you were gonna be like alone.
Yeah, and I was excited for that.
And she was like, I want to be alone.
Yeah, everyone's like, you have no one out there. And then like I rekindled with a lot of, I've been going out more than I actually ever thought I would.
I think when you move somewhere and you don't have friends and you have to like
it challenges
strategically
you.
Pick people that you want to put in your life and build a life for yourself, it does challenge you. And I think you end up being a happier, better version of yourself.
I
just
fully agree.
Like being like, oh, I know this person and constantly following their plan and their lead and their friends. And maybe you end up in a friend group that you didn't originally even connect with. So like moving somewhere with no friends, I think is the most powerful thing.
Yeah. I think the biggest advice I could give anyone is like, if you're thinking about that move, just do it.
Just do it.
You don't know what's on the other side of it. Obviously, it was very nerve-wracking. It was like, I think for both of us when we went through our moves, but like, it's the best thing I ever did for myself. Like, I am genuinely so happy here.
Yeah.
Even like my mom visited. She was like, I don't think I've ever seen you this happy. I was like, I know, it's so crazy.
I do love that.
No, I know. And I'm like, I just think my energy in New York just wasn't. I also knew I wanted to like end up out here. I just didn't know it was going to be this soon.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think at 24 years old I'd be moving across the country, but I'm grateful that I'm here. And I think I made the best choice.
Absolutely. And then if you make the move and it doesn't work out, you end up like me.
Yeah, you end up
you
like
just
her.
go back and then you end up happier.
Mhm.
Like I've never been happier than I am in Miami. And I've had people say, like, even Brandon, my friend, said to me a couple days ago, he's like, I've never seen you this happy.
Oh my God, we're just like so happy.
I know. We're
just like in our happy girl era. And I love that for us. No,
but it's because we
cute.
do things for ourselves and we don't care what people think or have to say.
Yeah, like everyone had something to say. Even like back to where I live now, everyone's like, why the fuck would you live there? Like traffic's horrible. It's like, newsflash, idiots. I work from home. Like, I'm sorry, newsflash, fucking idiots.
But it's like, am I going to let the traffic not...
Yeah.
If I'm gonna let that keep me from moving?
I mean, everyone's always gonna have something to say. When I moved to New York, everyone had something to say.
That's just people projecting their fears.
Exactly. And the thing is, my mom said that to me. She's like, you've always been very like fearless. And I was like, I don't think it's fearless. I just think
fearless leader.
I think I just do what the fuck I want to do. Like nothing really is going to stop me. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do that. Yeah. With everything it's been.
Yeah. Sometimes I procrastinate, but I end.
No, you do.
Certain things.
No, you do. No, we're thinking about the same thing.
I know. You know what I love is that the new guy that you're talking to, you didn't meet on a dating app. Because she was back on the apps for a little after she told me, I'm never going on Hinge.
And it made me suicidal. We're not even going to talk about the app experience I had.
Not.
We're actually literally not going to do that.
But I will say, like, people who are not having good luck on apps, try not using them because I haven't been using them for months either. And I've just been putting out the energy. Like, I'm open to people coming into my life and it's brought me more real connections than the dating apps ever have.
I fully fucking agree. I'm not on the apps anymore. And... if anything, this man, I met him and then I ignored him for 6 months.
She did.
I did do that. That's so Livi coded though. Like,
why were you? Because you just thought he was annoying.
I was just like, I was traveling a lot. I was like,
but you just weren't interested because
I was just like, was not interested. No, like he actually hates me because I was like, yeah, before I knew you, like I just thought you were like had no personality. I thought you were short. I thought you were boring. Like I just like wasn't interested. Like
he's not short though.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Why did you think he was short?
I just thought he was short. Like I
came up with a whole different personality.
Like I did. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, that's so insulting. And I was like, no, wait. Yesterday, Nicole, him and I were texting and he was like, yeah, I think we can say that we both had like the wrong idea of each other. You thought I had no personality. I was boring. I was like a horrible person and I was short. And I was like, yeah. And you thought I was too much, which I thought was hurtful. He was like, yeah, I just thought you were like looking at your Instagram. I thought you were like a lot. And I was like, you thought I was a lot? And he was like,
he was right.
And he was like, and you said I was short, boring, and weird. Like, and I say you're a lot, and that's offensive. And I said, okay.
You are a lot. You know that.
No, I know, but I get triggered when people tell me I'm too much.
Really? Why?
Because I've had men in the past be like, you're too much.
Oh, I don't tell you you're too much, actually. I just tell
you don't tell me
you're not. I say you're a lot. Yeah.
I'm a lot, but the thing is, it's like, I always say this too. It's like, I am a lot, but I'll change your fucking life.
Yeah.
So crazy. No, but like, I'm a really motivating person.
You are.
I'm a very, like, and
but
if
it takes a certain person to be able to handle that because some people don't like to push back too much or they just don't want that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, some people can't handle that.
I don't want to be like, it's all me and my credit, but like I've seen you transform into a completely different person within a year. Like the bitch I met on the beach in Tulum is not the bitch I'm sitting with right now.
Really?
Yeah. And I do give myself all the credit. No, but like I just think about that.
I think I used to be this person and then something happened I lost myself, and you kind of helped me find myself.
I definitely agree with that. And I think about it to Nicole to the point where like on the beach until we were like, yeah, like it's been like 6 months. Like I want to start the podcast. Like, how do you do yours? And I was like, and now sitting here, like not only do you have a very successful podcast, like you're running a business, number one, and number two, you're about to start a second business. Like, and forget the fucking work of it all and like how amazing you're doing on the socials and everything like that. And I'm so genuinely proud of you. God, I could cry. Just like the way that you've learned to love yourself and to allow people to come back in and not have like such a tied outcome, like expectation.
Like no one controls my emotions.
Exactly. Yeah. And how much you've grown emotionally and the doing things that you thought you never did. Like you moved to LA. We didn't like it. We moved back. We've always been okay. Yeah. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. I think I've seen you just transform in front of my eyes in every single way.
And that's why I think like I'm becoming so much more like successful and like a lot of my stuff has been doing so much better. It's because now it's like what I struggled with a lot was I wasn't in the best place in my life and I was kind of like going against the things that I was saying I was doing. Like I, give out advice sometimes and I wasn't feeling good about it because I was like, I know this to be true. I know I could do this, but I'm not. And that makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
And it held me back for a really long time. And now that I'm like taking my own advice, it's like everything's now working out for me. Yeah. Because I'm like prioritizing myself and I'm practicing what I preach and it's just people can feel that energy and that's inspiring.
No, 100%. Like when you're true to your word and you mean what you say, like they get it. I think that's why I've been successful. I think that's why we've both been successful.
Even if it's like true to like the fact that like I maybe did something stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like just sharing.
I blocked a man from my Instagram story and he realized like, and like I just sharing your truth, babe. And it just is like, even the way you create content now, I think is so completely different than who you were a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most inspiring thing. And I think it's the most beautiful thing that you've done for yourself. And I'm proud of you.
Couldn't have done it without you.
No, and I know. I tell everyone we're partners. But like not sexually. Like partners.
Not sexually.
Well, you gave me my Valentine's Day voice thing or little note. And I've been saying that to everyone. I was like, no, we're like partners in this life, but not like that.
We are partners.
We're not fucking. Or like romantically involved.
Thank you for making that clear.
Yeah.
We are not fucking.
We are not
People
fucking.
think we are. Not fucking. No, but romantically involved.
Yeah, everyone thinks we're dating. Like that comment was funny that they're like, you guys fight like you're in a relationship.
We do. But I think that's just we're so comfortable with each other where it's like we can fight. We're not always gonna get along. No. We do things to piss each other off. Like I spilt water on your floor this morning. I knew I should have cleaned it up.
No, you know you should have.
I just didn't want to.
I also love to do just like little things that like using your deodorant. Like I just know it's gonna be small. You get into town and just use.
I get into town. She's like, "Can I use your deodorant? Can I use this? Can I use this?
Where's this? Can I have that?"
And you know what? It definitely pushes me, but at the same time, I'm like, who cares?
No, wait.
You take whatever you want. Yeah. Take the deodorant.
My favorite is like when I think back to when you were on live during Halloween, and I was like, "Where are your lashes?" And you're like, "Can you fucking look?" And I was like, "I'm trying my hardest."
Livi's really in her. I'm so scared this man's gonna put you too deep in your feminine, and then
like I won't even be able
around.
To walk.
You're in a wheelchair
because I'm too deep in my feminine. I'm just like I don't want to walk.
You have to pick me up. You have to carry me everywhere, and then if he's not around, I have to do it.
Yeah, 100%. He does literally anything I want. I'm like, "Can you do that for me?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Do you think it would ever get to a point where it icks you out if he does too much of what you
never
to do? Okay.
Like, what do you mean?
We're different in that sense.
But what do you mean? Give me an example.
Do you feel like you have the upper hand on him?
No, not really. Not yet.
Okay.
Well, like a little bit, kind of actually, yeah.
Like, I think it's healthy to feel like you can ask somebody and they'll do whatever, but like, I feel like it comes to a point where you have to reciprocate. And like, if he's constantly just doing things for you and doing whatever you want.
Yeah, no, he's not really doing whatever I want yet.
Okay. Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. But he is definitely, well, also we're new to like the whole thing. So it's like he's definitely doing things to like impress me or like things that I want to do. It's like, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, dumplings. Like we're going to Din Tai Fung, you know?
I think we need to talk about like how to know when you're getting love bombed because like you guys have kind of been not moving quick. You've been seeing each other like a fair amount, but he's been really nice and doing these things for you. I think girls struggle with like at the beginning of dating, like, is he love bombing me or is
I still think that.
And I think love bombing is just if you're not seeing any action behind the words.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing consistency. Like a man who love bombs is just gonna like love bomb on you, do the most where you pull out all the stops, and then it's gonna end at some point.
Right.
You know, and he's not gonna
do you want to know why? Words. Do you know what I do think is really interesting? I think love bombing has a lot to do with sex. I think they're doing all these things and saying all these things
to have sex.
To have sex.
Yeah.
And once the sex is introduced to it kind of thing, it kind of fades a little.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm normally not. But like, no, wait, that's a crazy statement. I don't know why I said that. I really don't know why I said it. But I do think that.
I think men like to conquer.
Yes.
I think men like to win, and they like to win the game. So if the end game is just sleep with her, not date her, right? If the end game is sleep with her, they're gonna do everything they can, say whatever they have to say, do what they have to do.
Do you know what
sleep
I
with her?
So weird. Like,
and then they do.
Yeah.
And then why would they continue to do the nice things? Because they already hit the goal.
Right. I guess like I'm waiting to like sleep with that person.
Yeah, I think you should.
Obviously. Yeah, because we know I could like, I am okay, whatever, you caught me. I will like someone within a week. Yeah, what?
No.
You're like inside me. Cool.
And I think it's good to get that out of the way, because if there's no chemistry, if
That's
there's no
what I
sexual
also, like,
attraction.
I was thinking that today, Nicole. I was like, what if like.
We were talking about this yesterday. I was
Yeah.
like, what if I'm just not
Sexually
attracted, and it sucks when everything else is there, and it doesn't mean they're an ugly person, but there's just like a chemistry,
you don't want to know
like
something?
a vibe. What?
My mom was talking to me about this. She was like, she was dealing with the same thing, because my mom like just met her boyfriend a year ago, whatever. And she was like, I was nervous to sleep with it because she like made him wait like 10 dates.
Oh, they said 10 days.
10 my mom made him wait 10 days. It was crazy. I was like, Mom, 10 days? You fucking literal
Give me
virgin.
like the ring, like 7 days.
7 days. No, she made him wait 10 dates.
10
so that was
dates.
like a while.
So if they were doing like a date a week.
Yeah, like 10 weeks. And she was like, I ended up getting scared because like we had such a good like emotional connection. Like, what if the physical connection was out there? And she was like, that's something you have to like work at.
Yeah.
She was like, it's not going to be amazing the first time.
The sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she was like, you learn each other's bodies, and since you love that person, you like it. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
But like the sexual chemistry has to be there just like a little bit. Like you got to be like a little bit wet from sitting across from
Yeah, like
dinner.
a little tingle.
Yeah.
The tingle is so real.
The tingle's
like when you
so
feel the
real.
little
tingle.
Like it's like, oh.
I feel mine in my stomach though. It like shoots like from my stomach to my vag.
Oh, that feels like butterflies then.
No. It's
like my tingle would just be.
I just get like warm, but like when you're getting like tingling moment. I hate this microphone. When you're getting that tingling moment.
No, I know you just get like a little wet.
Yeah. It's like, but the tingle comes first, and then you're like, I'm slipping and sliding like a snail right here.
Have you ever been in like a dress and you get like the tingle on your own date, and then you're like, I hope I didn't like leave a little.
Do you know that a man asked me one time? I got this taken down from TikTok. This man asked me. He was like, "Were you wet at breakfast?" I was like, "Why the fuck would I be wet at breakfast?" And it turns out I was just like, I had my asshole was sweating, and he was like, "Are you wet?" And I was like, "No." Like I literally was like, yeah. And then I was like, "Oh my God, he saw my asshole sweating." I was like, "Yeah, baby, I'm so wet. Like I was so wet for you." Yeah, talking about your ex-girlfriend made me drip, babe. Are you stupid?
So out of pocket for him to ask if you were wet at breakfast.
Asked me if I was wet at breakfast. No.
Did you say no?
No, I said yeah.
You said yeah.
Because I was, that's
own it.
Yeah, I was
soaking.
So fucking wet. Because like I
had to take a shower when I got home.
I was like, no, I was really sweaty. My asshole was sweaty. No, babe, my asshole was sweaty.
I wish you said,
no, babe.
No, humble that man. My asshole was sweating. It's not you. It's my asshole.
No. That was just my asshole sweating. It was fall. There was no reason for my asshole to be sweating.
It was fall.
But my asshole was sweating. And I was like, oh, yeah, it was so wet. You think you have that much power?
You run hot.
Yeah, I do run hot. You know I run hot. I was wearing a puffer too and a Skims dress. What the fuck was I on? Like, clearly meth. Like, what? Of course I'm sweating. And you know I run hot. Like, it's an issue. He's like, are you wet? Fuck yeah, let's run with it.
Wait, he asked that in person?
He wrote it on, because we worked together. This was when I was fucking my coworker. Don't do it, girls. But he wrote it on a whiteboard, and he was like, were you wet during breakfast? And I was like, fuck yeah, I was. Yeah, I was like, yeah. No, it wasn't. Why the fuck would I be wet during breakfast? I don't even like breakfast.
I love breakfast. I'd get wet for some eggs.
Yeah, you're weird like that, though.
I love eggs.
No, that's the one, Fred. That's something you do that pisses me off.
What were you going to say? Were you going to say one last thing?
Mm-mm.
We have to wrap this up.
We got to wrap it up.
I love that we're going to end it on you being wet.
Yeah.
Like, the tingle's real. I wonder what the male equivalent of that is. Do you think it's like just like a half chub?
I think just getting hard.
No.
Fine, like a half chub.
Hard like at dinner.
I
wonder if they feel like a little tingle.
I bet I could get a man hard at dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's try it tonight.
I told Nicole, like, if my man doesn't make you wet, like,
if I don't want to fuck her man,
he's not my man.
That is too
like,
weird.
So we're best friends. If you don't
Yeah.
want to fuck my man, then like
I'm excited to meet him. I hope I really like him.
and I love you guys. I'm back on again.
You're back on again.
I don't know.
Livy was here. If you didn't know Livy was here. Anyways, follow Livy on TikTok
You know where to
at
find
She Is
me.
Livy and on Instagram. And yeah, make sure you look out for our episodes. Bye. Love you guys.
Girl therapy.
Yeah, therapy.